gets laid. Dawn's in the building, his swag so tight. Check your feelings, he's exposing all the lies. Every Thursday at 8, his voice takes the stage. The man's got soul like a record with age.
Hey, y'all. It's the Don Miller Show, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe and like. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Man, I'm so excited tonight, as I am every Thursday night. Shout out to my man, Phil, the podcast doctor.
What's going on?
Phil, we got a great conversation tonight. I am shining like new money, but that's okay. Thank you again. All these lights it's a bunch of lights in here. We have a guest in the studio. You guys, if you listen to the Don Miller Show, especially many of my friends who listen to the Don Miller Show on radio, you've heard this guy. He is in the studio with me. It's been a long time, a few years, but I needed a ride to the studio tonight. And he, as always, whenever we go anywhere, he drives the vehicle. Shout out to my man, TL. From the Frontline Stereo Podcast.
Yeah, he coming in hot. Look, I'm just making clear, real clear. Don have scholars and doctors and everybody on the show. I'm not that. I'm the guy from the spot where we grew up at, and we going to talk like we grew up there.
He's from the west side of Chicago, but he's an executive.
Absolutely.
He still want to be hood adjacent, but he out in line. He's an executive, okay? Cut it out. Again, thanks, TL, for joining us. Also, on the show, from up in there, round over there, by over there, in a place somewhere in some small county in Florida, joining us here on the show, she has moved up to being almost the executive producer of the Don Miller Show, the white lady, Amber Kusia.
Hey, everyone.
Hey,
good
white
to be
lady.
back.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
The white lady. Thank you so much, everybody. We again ask you to subscribe and like the Don Miller Show, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Shout out to those people who have been supporting this show from its inception. Came over here with Phil, the podcast doctor. How long has it been, Phil? A couple of years at least, right?
2021.
2021.
So
I
4
came over
years?
here to do a broadcast. Phil, the podcast doctor. I ain't know this dude, but he was really talented.
How did you find me?
Oh, somebody told me about you, I think, right?
I don't even know.
Because you worked in radio for years, and
Yeah.
I was in radio, so I'm sure it's somebody in radio. But this guy is good at what he does. The quality is outstanding, and he is always on it, even though sometimes we don't like each other. But I always love him, because he's on it. He's a businessman, knows what he's doing. And even when I mess up, you don't even know I messed up, because Phil is good at this. And that's what I need, somebody good at this. Thank you again. Feel free to chime in tonight. We're going to open up the phone lines at some point on the broadcast. Hit us in the link. What's the link called? I don't know what the link. Hit us in the thread or whatever. I don't know. Also, Amber, if somebody want to buy any of the Don Miller Show merchandise, what do they need to do?
They need to go to thedonmillershow.com and put in the discount code DMS10 for 10% off their first order.
Absolutely. That's what we got to do right here on the show.
Got to go get in them DMs.
So I got to start the show. The title of today's show, put that up, Phil, is The Miseducation of the Negro in Modern Times. One of the greatest books I've ever read is a book called The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson.
That's a music album. Lauryn Hill. What you talking about?
Again, that's because you're
Man,
12
look,
years old.
That book changed my life.
That book changes a lot of lives if you read it. You can find it on Amazon, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. It's a read for anybody, not just black people. It's a great read. So I'm watching this week as Pastor Jamal Bryant, mega pastor out of Atlanta, is doing a victory lap since the announcement of the CEO of Target, Brian Cornell, I think it is, Cromwell Cornell, announced his retirement. He's leaving Target after 11 years. He's leaving, Brian Cornell, yes, he's leaving Target after 11 years as CEO, but he's leaving next February. He's leaving on Black History Month, first day of Black History Month, he's leaving. Pastor Jamal Bryant, who in January of 25 initiated a 40-day fast against Target initially, that became, in his estimation, a full-fledged black boycott of Target. Target, of course, as you know, is a big box chain of stores all over the country, but not many of them are in urban communities. Yet, this pastor said that black people are a significant amount of the customer base for Target. Big money, okay? But hold on, Phil, before you start just throwing stuff up, okay? We're going to take our time today. This is going to be a teachable Thursday. So this pastor is getting applauded. He's having a victory tour because the CEO of Target has stepped down because he instituted a boycott against Target in January of 25. And Target has had some sales challenges and absolutely some stock challenges. But when you look at this, as I did, and I'm an old school guy. I call people who know. I don't know the stock market. I don't know how it works. I don't even know how to read the data. So I made some phone calls today. One of the people I reached out to is my great friend, Charles Payne. He is the host of Fox Business every day, Monday through Friday on Fox National. He's a brother, and he is an astute financial scholar. And I picked his brain about this, and of course, he gave me some amazing information. And I was like, okay. Then I reached out to a wonderful friend of mine who is a high-level executive with Rockefeller Capital. And he said the same thing. And then I called my buddy who is a leader at a company called UBS Wealth Management. And he said something. Interestingly enough, all of these financial guys said the same thing, that black people boycotting Target had very little to do with Target's challenges. And each of them went back to something that it didn't click with me. In 2023, in an 8-day period, Target lost, put that up, Phil, Target lost
15.
$13 billion. But think about it, since Target stock loses $13 billion, sinks to the lowest level since 2020 over boycotts. No, okay? But it's not the boycotts that people are thinking about. In 2023, in 1 week, they lost $9 billion, Phil.
Facts.
You have that, Phil? In 2023, they lost $9 billion in a week. And it's not because of black people not going to Target. It is because of Target engaged in some of the most ridiculous nonsense that I have ever seen in my life when they opened up a children's section for gay kids. Look at these pictures. Look at this Pride Month. Look at kids' clothes. Keep going, Phil. Look at this, man. You go into Target. Go ahead, Phil. One more. I'm sure there's another one. It's like, what you say?
I'm looking for it here.
It's like, so people were appalled by this. This was in 2023. Target shifted and opened up a kids section for gay baby clothes and all this ridiculous ass nonsense. And that's when Target saw a plummet. The problem is the plummet came from white Christians who was appalled by this, who pulled back on Target. This is in 2023. And if you look at the stock numbers and when Target started to decline, it was in 23 when the numbers started to fall off. Interestingly enough, though, Jamal Bryant is a Christian pastor, a man of God, so to speak. I would have been more apt to support Pastor Bryant had he went to the microphone in 2023 when Target jumped on this child LGBT nonsense. Yet Pastor Bryant said not a word. And all of a sudden, in January of 25, he goes to the microphone and says, "We got to boycott Target." Terrell, when you started following this, what did you see?
Wasted time. People who don't stick to their own principles. Just a list of things. I mean, my position always is what's the end goal? What's the outcome? I feel like our community tends to boycott and we rah over a situation without looking for the outcome. Like, what's the end goal? Are we going to boycott this place and in the end we're going to get X, or are we going to do Y, or are we going to what's the outcome? What's the end goal? I can say that 100 times over, because when Martin Luther King was boycotting, and Malcolm X said we were going to do certain things, they had an end goal. They had a list of demands. In this generation, in this time, there's no list of demands anymore. Like, what could we ask for? Like, okay, let's just take the position that Jamal Bryant is the reason, the boycott that he started is the reason why Target lost their market share. Okay, now what?
Absolutely, and that's what I contend. But I don't understand, Phil, how since January, the CEO steps down after 11 years, and this pastor is doing a victory lap for grabbing, I think, the low-hanging fruit. When I talk to these gentlemen who are schooled in the finances and in the markets, they all said the same thing. Target lost a chunk of share based on this wokeness, this LGBTQIA push in 23 and 22. And when you look at the fact that they opened up children's sections in the stores, I scratch my head and it's like, okay, so when I watch the white Christian people come out and says, we're not going there, and you saw the $10 billion drop, yet didn't see any white pastor raise his hand and say, I did that. Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you, Amber, when Target came out and you have children with the whole gay kid section, what were your thoughts?
Well, initially, I thought, okay, they're taking this too far, because they are at this point trying to indoctrinate our kids into something that they don't even discover about themselves until they're an adult. And even then, I personally think it's a mental health issue. So to put that onto children and just try to throw it in our face when it's something that should be a very private piece of information about yourself.
Hold on, Amber. Phil, are we streaming?
We are, but we're having some technical issues. Looks like YouTube did not connect, but we're on your Facebook. There's like
okay, we're on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, so YouTube didn't connect. Okay,
nope, YouTube did not connect.
Are we gonna try to get on YouTube?
I can't do it while we're live now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So all right.
But we're on Facebook.
Okay. All right. So again, so go ahead, Amber. What were you saying?
I think I pretty much, said it all. I just feel like they were trying to just indoctrinate our children and push something that should be completely a private, detail about yourself onto others. And it's just, it was too much.
Help me understand.
There's no reason why we need to paint the town rainbow. Like, there's no reason for that.
Yeah, help me understand why a 5-year-old needs to talk about sex.
Exactly.
Why does a 5-year-old have pride?
Girl?
It's interesting because I think that when I talk about the miseducation, the bamboozlement is what I refer to it more so, it is really unfortunate because my concern is that the same people are getting got again. And I'm telling you, when I saw these numbers, this $10 billion in a week, I was like, whoa. And then you look at the sales being down for consecutive quarters, and way before January. And I talked to a great friend of mine, as I mentioned earlier, who talked about the fact that Target for years was a great hold stock. You get it and you just hold it because it was a solid stock.
Yeah, they was at like 110 at one point.
They were more than that for a long time. And now you look at the plummeting of the stock, but you have to go back to when these numbers changed. And I contend that when they went to this wokeness, this LGBT attachment, I think that people who really spend money at Target, let's be clear, when they went away, you saw the numbers. But the numbers were out immediately. You look at that piece in the New York Post, immediately, $10 billion lost.
So guess what I just heard? Mm-hmm. I just heard you say it depends on who shopped there. So are you saying black people don't shop there?
I think black people shop at Target, but I think black people shop at Walmart a lot more.
I've always said that was the issue.
I think Walmart has a real issue with the way it has treated not only its customers, minority customers, but even its employees. And there are so many people out there who know that just to be a fact, who work there, who come out and said things. But I think, again, Pastor Bryant knew that Target was low-hanging fruit. And so you grab the low-hanging fruit, and when it crashes for real, you take a victory lap, and you seem like you have done a wonderful thing. And my concern is we keep seeing this by these people. And look, am I okay with boycotts? Sure, I don't have a problem with boycotts. But I have a problem with people who live their lives on misdirection and running game on other people. And that's my concern. And that's what I'm seeing here. Target has historically had African Americans on their board. Walmart has Carla Harris, who's a 35-year Wall Street veteran on their board, who was an Obama appointee. And yeah, there she is, Carla. She's a sharp lady. She is a senior client advisor at Morgan Stanley. But when you look at the board at Target, Target has two really sharp African-American gentlemen on their board. And again, the question is, who's the real culprit in this? And I think that Dr. Bryant, I'm not going to call him doctor. I don't know where he got his doctorate from. But Jamal Bryant is a grifter.
He just jumped in the car.
He's an absolute grifter. But there are many Jamal Bryants out there. Because I think as a pastor, as a man of God, that show up every Sunday and allegedly bring people to Christ and into the conversation, I think the conversation about Target should have started when they opened up the LGBT kids section. But of course he couldn't do that, and I think he couldn't do that for a number of reasons. I go back to him doing an interview with the quarterback. What was the quarterback's name?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Listen to this. Okay. You know?
Legs, man.
Huh?
Oh, man. And they lanolated.
Man, listen, I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jerky.
Oh, you see that?
They glowing in the dark.
I'm just
Y'all zoom in. Do not skip leg day.
Don't do that.
Do not do
So
that.
why is
Sometimes
this
you gotta
pastor
remind
telling this man he has pretty legs?
'Cause
Maybe
he's,
that's why he's
'cause
still
he's gay.
Huh?
'Cause he's gay.
Maybe that's why he didn't. Because the conversation from a church person.
Well, shouldn't that have jumped him on the pride situation then?
Okay, again, I think when a store goes in that direction, and as a person of faith and who reads the Bible and who allegedly shares the word of God with people every week, you should have raised your hand, Pastor, and said, hey, this is not okay, Target. What are you doing? But he waited and wanted to address the DEI aspects of this.
What is DEI?
You tell me.
Yeah. So we know diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know what it stands for. But so I'm clear, DEI never been for black people.
Oh, we know
we
that.
need to go back to...
We've had that show.
Right, you have had that show. But we just need to track back to black initiatives. Mm-hmm. If we track back to black initiatives, then you can see small progress made in corporate space and retail space. But as soon as we switch it over to DEI is just a cover-up for... the diversity could be women. The diversity could be multiple races. The diversity can be... I'll just flat out tell you what diversity is. And in the technology space, it means Indian woman. Mm-hmm. It means Indian man.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it means.
Absolutely.
So when somebody hypes people up over DEI, I hire people all the time, and they say, mandate, I need 20% Indian women in for our DEI initiative. As a black hiring manager, I look at that and go, okay, am I supposed to say something here? Is this where I go, hey, aren't we able to hire anybody diverse that's qualified for the job? Now, so I'm clear, I hire qualified people. I don't just take a race or take a gender and say this is who I'm going for. But DEI ain't never been us. So whenever somebody jumps on this DEI train, you lose me right there. You lose me with why are we jumping in this car now and why are we going to take this ride together? And again, what's my outcome? What are we looking for? What are we looking for from Target? Are we looking for them to put DEI back in place? I just explained what DEI means. It means more women. That's what it means.
You know, and the initial conversation about DEI and its inception also was about homosexuals.
Facts.
About
and
the LGBT.
Homosexuality, women,
Yes.
women of different races, handicap. It meant everything but
disabled,
us.
not handicapped.
Disabled. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if anything,
Everything
it
but
helps
us.
people who look like me more than it helps people who look like y'all. I mean,
Facts.
me and Phil were talking about it because I'm the DE Italian hire on this
You
podcast. So
Yes. Yes. But again, so when I see this and I see this victory lap, right? I am just concerned that we are getting taken advantage of as a community again because of lack of knowledge. And how do we fix this? You know, it's interesting because I'm listening to people that I gave a lot of credit to and kind of thought were bright people that are saying that this gentleman has moved the needle in a space where they're going to have to come and deal with us now. And I'm saying if Target started dropping in January and not 2023,
Yeah.
maybe I would believe you.
Yeah, they've been on a significant decline as
And the
for
numbers,
since 23.
Phil, do you have the Target 5-year chart?
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Let's see which one.
Yeah. You can put both of them up, okay? Target's been falling off for, this is the past year, right? Target's been on the decline. This is January 27, 2025, right? But if you go back 5 years, Target's been having challenges for a long time. Go look. Okay? Look at that drop in 23. It's at the same place it is now. It came up a little bit, and that's when everybody said enough was enough. But again, I get it. If you want to claim this and say we are the reasons why the CEO was let go, fine. Because black people, I know black people got to have one. They just got to. I know we want to win. As a black person, I want to win. I want one good win, right? We thought we had one in 2008. That didn't work out for us, right? We had one in 2008. What was his name? Barack Obama. We got it. Here we go. Yay. And then that went away, and we still was like, can we get a win? And now it's like people are playing on this, we need a win. And the fact is, we just don't have leadership. We have a misleadership class of blacks who have played the game and find themselves in position and look the other way. The fact of the matter is, this is a company that had some troubles. And their troubles did not start in January of this year when the pastor in Atlanta said, hey, let's boycott. So there's so many factors in this, and it's embarrassing when you talk to people who have not taken the time to look at the numbers. It's embarrassing when people don't take the time to look at the numbers. Go ahead, Tio.
I was just going to ask you, just do a challenge for the people that are watching at home. Go to any AI tool you got, your Chat GPT, your Gemini, whatever you want to use, Copilot, whatever AI tool that you use, and just ask from 2023 to 2025, were there any rebound in numbers for Target? And just let AI tell you. Y'all don't want to believe people who sitting here who have, I mean, Don, dude, every time I talk to this man, on the way over, he was hot, by the way. Every time I talk to him, he always talks about who he calls and his friends that he has conversations
Because I don't know
with.
everything.
Right, facts. And I
Right.
get that. And I sit here, and when we out at the spot we smoke at, and we having a nice little cigar, and people look to the side when he get up from the table and be like, he don't know everything. He don't claim to know everything. But I was just in the car with him where I heard him talk to this person who does know everything.
Right. About this.
About this specific
Absolutely.
box.
Right.
This is their box.
Right.
And when you can back up the facts in your box, I mean, who am I to argue? I don't do that.
But let me just say this to those. The recent CEO transition at Target Corporation reflects stalled growth.
That's it.
That's what it is. This reflects stalled growth, okay?
If I don't grow my company,
And-
I get canned.
And let me just say something. The culture wars may have added a little bit to the traffic, but the fact that this company has been on a 5-year slide
May have been a helping reason.
is why the guy's gone.
They
Not
always
because
look-
a black pastor told some black people not to go to Target. Because
Facts.
I purposely went to Target recently, and I saw black people in Target. And maybe that's where I live.
They going now. Because where we live there,
Right,
I absolutely
right,
going. I
okay.
went in. I did go in there during the period when we wasn't supposed to go in there, so I could see if I get any of those looks. And I will say it was pretty empty, but where we live at, it's kind of pretty empty in that time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is going back to something that you said. Why didn't we boycott Target and Walmart?
Again, so absolutely. If you look at the numbers, Walmart history is pretty terrible as it relates to dealing with ethnic groups. They have a lot of discrimination problems on paper. They have settled a lot of lawsuits. They've had a lot of claims against them.
Tons.
Okay.
2001, 2011,
You can go look.
2021.
Right? Okay.
There's tons.
The woes of Walmart, right? A lesson in independent contractor practices and immigration law, non-compliance. That you could go find that. Okay, and find law.
Scroll down, Phil.
Okay. Huh?
Scroll down.
Yeah, scroll
'cause it'll
down.
tell you about it.
Oh, so, the
'Cause
woes
right
of
now-
Walmart, right? So when you look at this and you look at the history of Walmart and
there.
as Walmart as a company, how it has dealt with people, especially people of color.
Well, let me tell you what I'm getting at. When I asked that question, why didn't we boycott Target and boycott Walmart? I think people at home that come from this community that is happy about the rah situation of Target are then forced to strain their brain and ask themselves a question. If I boycott Target and Walmart, where do I shop at? This goes back to a previous show that you did. I think this was one of your big hits, wasn't it? One of your bigger hits, one of your clips when you asked, name the top black grocer in America.
We got almost 2 million hits.
You can't.
Right.
And if we don't shop at Target and don't shop at Walmart, you're forced to ask yourself, what is it that we do? What is it that my community does? Where can I go that sticks within my community? And where can I be socially happy about where I'm spending my dollars? We already know what the black dollar do. You know how quickly it leaves our community. We're the only dollar that leaves our community in 0.01 seconds. Because we don't have the institutions to be able to go and support and say, this is where I'm going to go. And I don't have to worry about whether DEI programs is put in place. Because when the Asian man come over to America, he opened up the nail shop, he opened up Chinese place, and his people don't have to worry about it.
Amber, can you put on YouTube that we're on Facebook, please, somebody?
Actually, I got a message from someone saying we're on YouTube too.
We are?
At least that's what I was told.
Okay, well, everybody's telling me we're not. But that's great.
It's,
Maybe we are
it's
not.
playing clips, but it's not playing
Okay.
the show.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's playing clips. Okay.
But yeah, that's where I'm getting at. We go back to the conversation of Walmart and Target and forcing ourselves to ask, who then do we support and where's our local community member or organization that we can support? And that goes back to when I go, where is the expected outcome? What is the end goal? Jamal Bryant, help me understand, what is the end goal? Are we now going to support a black business where we don't have to worry about DEI programs? Are we going to start to look at our own community's infrastructure? Because if you're not placing any demand, any request, this just sounds like continued integration into the games that we continue to play and how we get taken advantage of.
And you know, that's an excellent point, because I have consistently, for you, for a fact, and Amber and Phil, I don't go to the other place, okay? I may stumble into Target, but I'm not a shopping kind of person, but I would never go to the other place.
No, there's
right?
too many problems that
I would
He
never go
hates
to the
it
other
with his
place.
whole life.
Huh? What?
I said, you hate Walmart with your whole life.
my whole
you will never
existence,
step.
right?
You will never step foot in a Walmart.
With my whole existence.
he ain't the only one.
Okay? And the problem is, so there is a boycott of Walmart right now, started by the People's Union. And for those who don't know,
Go look that one up.
okay, the People's Union started this boycott of Walmart this year. Do you have that, Phil?
Does
A
it say-
gentleman by the name of John Schwartz.
You sitting at home, GTS that name.
John Schwartz started a boycott of Walmart, and they have an ask. They have a laid out ask a laid out number of expectations for why they are boycotting the People's Union USA. And it's really brilliant to read what their request is. The conversation about Target led by this pastor guy,
And again, it's on DEI.
Yeah.
They rolled back their programs around the same time that Target did.
No, before.
Right, they actually was before. They were the first.
Walmart got rid of DEI quickly.
Right away.
Amber, Walmart was significantly before Target.
I think it was
correct?
November 2024.
Yeah, I believe it was a few months, about 2 to 4 months before then.
Yes.
But I think it's also really important to show that realistically, we are the consumer. We are the one that buys things day in, day out, and these companies feel like they could just do whatever, promote whatever, treat their employees however, and we're just going to deal with it and not do anything about it, because the question is where you go, where are you going to get the other stuff? You know what I mean? Because he was right. There is nothing really in our local communities to support things that they get from a Walmart and things and stuff like that. So I think it's very important. And I think these boycotts, do serve a good purpose to a degree, but we have to have that purpose actually be meaningful. Because we got to hit them where it hurts. And that's again, always the wallet.
I like to refer to them more so as economic blackouts. But you got to have a plan with an economic blackout.
Facts.
You can't just say, I'm not going there for a few weeks. And then when you finally go, you spend 3 times the money. You spend all the money you've been holding to spend anyway. So their numbers are not going to change. They're going to make up for all the numbers.
It just held on for a while.
Held on for a while.
If you think that there's not a corporate bigwig that says, oh, don't worry, it'll blow over in a few weeks.
Absolutely.
It'll be back.
Wrong.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right.
And my concern is when we allow the misleadership class, especially in the black community, the misleadership class, not the leadership class, the misleadership class. Think about this, for example, right? You tell me an urban community that has a Target store in the urban community. Right.
Wait, so
that part.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
What urban community has a Target store?
What urban community has a Target store?
They won't even put them there.
No, man, they don't even put Publixes with pharmacies in urban communities.
Absolutely, right. Okay?
You won't see a store with a white aesthetic within 20 miles from the hood.
Right, and that's real talk.
The hood gonna get Dollar General.
Yes.
And
Family Dollar.
Family Dollar.
Family Dollar.
And Dollar Tree.
And the Dollar Tree. Anything that got a dollar, or what is it now? $1.05, $1.99.
And the liquor store.
And the liquor store.
And a bunch of liquor stores.
And the liquor store.
I say that's how you know where you at all the time. If you want to know if you're in the hood, people be like, oh, where am I at? This is the hood. If you pass a Dollar General, you're in the hood.
Even the white hood. Absolutely. Right.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because I would like to see people with the platforms that this pastor has boycotting the amount of liquor stores in the urban community.
Hey, man, Lee, why we got to talk
Pastor
about
Jamal Bryant is a
liquor?
pastor by hobby, so let's just be real about
Oh,
that.
she called him a pastor by hobby.
He's a what?
He's a pastor by hobby.
He is a pastor by hobby. You know dang well God did not call you up to that pulpit.
Wow.
With the life that you live, absolutely not.
I got nothing for that.
But think about this, right? Shout out to my friend and a guy I respect a lot, Father Michael Flagler in Chicago, who has boycotted liquor stores in the black community.
He has.
A white priest who has been on the front line of boycotting the number of liquor stores. I want to see that from these guys with these large platforms. Again, boycott these planned pregnancy. Every mile there's a planned pregnancy office in many of these communities, right?
I need more than a boycott. I'm going to just, look, I wasn't there in this time. I wasn't born, but I did the history. I had to learn the lesson just like you learned the lesson. Rosa Parks sat in the back, or sat in the front, and she didn't want to get up for the man to have to take her seat. And they started to boycott and said, we're not riding these buses until we stop getting discriminated against. I pay the money just like everybody else pay the money. I should be able to sit where I want to. That was the end goal. You hear the end goal? Mm-hmm. I should be able to sit where I want to. You know what the end goal is when they used to boycott. Mm-hmm. We don't know all these boycotts. We're going to black out. We're not going to spend no money at no gas station for this day. Or we're going to black out. We're not going to spend no money at Target for the next 3 months. Or whatever the situation is, we never hear the end goal anymore.
No, and when you look at it, look, I'm going to say something that may not be popular with a lot of people. The Targets and the big box stores will be fine if a black person never went back.
He dropped a bomb. Drop a bomb.
No, I'm going to repeat that because I don't know if everybody heard what I said. Target is going to be fine if a black person never goes back, Phil. When we look at economic blackouts, the amount of money that we spend in hair stores in our community.
We don't do that either, by the way.
Right? Just
that's not us either.
hair stores that we don't own.
That we don't own.
Okay? You look in the black community, many of these people set up and just rip us off and run out. And the dollar in the black community it doesn't even stay in the black community for 24 hours.
Goes away.
Okay, you go and look at other communities,
seconds.
It's in the community for 4 or 5 days. My concern is that we're allowing people who don't have the best interests of the community to engage at this level because they have large platforms, and oftentimes on the basis of a relationship with Jesus Christ. And I think it's a scam. It's very unfortunate. I just think there are things that we should be talking about in our community that is really more important than this. When you look at Planned Parenthood and the amount of Planned Parenthoods in some of these urban communities, that should be a conversation, but nobody's having that. The attachment to that is significant. It's just we know who's selling dope oftentimes in these communities. Okay, they're selling dope on the corner by the church oftentimes. I think when you go after the low-hanging fruit, the easy one to get, especially that's going to get you some hits and take you viral, I think that's a problem for me. And when I look at this white guy, Schwartz, who has started this boycott against Walmart, I applaud him because they put out an ask. They have a list of demands why we are boycotting Walmart.
This is what needs to change. Again, we don't have our dollar leaves, which probably change hands in our community once, and that's only when we go to the soul food restaurant to grab a plate of diabetes. But white communities, Jewish communities up to 19 days. White communities, I think if you AI that, it'd probably say unlimited amount of times because that's what's there. If we really want to have an end goal or you really want to make a difference, you have to create infrastructure. That infrastructure has to be where do we now go to shop at? You have to tell people that when you're boycotting. So who we giving our dollar to? Who's treating us fairly? Until we get that, it's all for no purpose because we're going right back to Target. I seen some people in there yesterday. Yep, I went.
But think about this, and I like to talk openly, especially when I done had a drink. There's some things I say we should boycott right away in our community. One of them, of course, is these people with these damn bags of seafood that's the salty crab. That's what I call
the crab boils.
Salty crab. Everybody, we talk about hypertension. Phil, you ever been there?
I'm allergic to shellfish,
No,
bro.
he's allergic.
Amber, you ever been there?
No, I've actually heard very, very bad reviews of that place.
You ever had a bag of salty crab? The salt content TL.
I've had crabs.
If you see my stomach on this field, you know I done had a crab bag.
And it's so interesting that a failing business, Red Lobster, who was they were failing,
Yeah.
in trouble. They have come out now. They're selling bags of crab.
They selling the crab boil bag.
Like, who that's geared toward?
Hey, the same people who went to Red Lobster.
No, a lot of people went to Red Lobster.
Yeah, you know who got them buttery biscuits. I need another free basket of biscuits.
They get them cheddar bays.
Did
baby.
you go who need them
Did you go
biscuits.
try the salty crabs yet at Red Lobster?
No, I haven't been. You know, last time I've been to Red Lobster.
Okay.
That was my 15-year-old self trying to go away from there for prom.
But again, we live in food deserts. Most of us live in food deserts.
Because we don't have any alternatives.
Right. And so when you live in a food desert, that's an area where you can barely find first run anything.
Won't you open up a grocery? What would you call a grocery store if you opened it, Don?
Dude, you
for
ain't got
the black community.
You just call it a grocery store, and okay, and we sell good stuff, and we sell
Fresh food.
fresh food, first run stuff, man.
There we go. First run fresh foods.
There it is.
That's the name of it, First Run Fresh Foods. Okay.
I mean, if we care about our health, that's what we would do.
I'm telling you. So I have had and tried. I don't eat it. The bag of salty crabs. I don't eat the crabs, right? But they have eggs in there.
They do.
They have potato.
They do. Love
and the
potato.
problem is, it's just the salt content is
It's high.
overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. Tasty though.
Right?
Yeah, that's
And-
why I probably got high cholesterol.
Huh?
I got high cholesterol.
And again,
That is why historically y'all have higher cholesterol.
right. But I'm saying these are the people we should be saying, hey, you need to tone this back because, and then they say, well, people ain't got to buy it. But the access to healthy food in many of these communities, not just EHE crabs, but Dr. Dre drink special with it. That's nothing but, right, again, right? So these are the problems that I think should be addressed by people with giant platforms, the real issues. You know, I want to spend a few minutes on this. The crime in many of these urban communities with these pastors with these giant microphones, right? I want to hear somebody applaud President Trump for taking D.C. over and saying enough's enough. Huh?
They go an applause for you.
Huh? Can you give me an applause?
Yeah.
No, Phil, listen what I'm saying. I haven't yet to hear a mega pastor in a black city come to a microphone and say, we got to address the crime in this community.
Because they need the turmoil for people to fill the seats.
Ooh.
Wow. No, you're right.
That's messing with the business.
You know, it's interesting, too, because you look
I
at
have
D.C.
an opinion on that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think because of the reason that they're not praising Donald Trump in the way that they probably should, or at least giving him credit, is because the black community always looks for politicians or anyone that has a savior complex because they always feel like they need to be saved. Donald Trump put his campaign in a way where it solved America's problems and not just specifically black people like Kamala Harris did.
Okay. Well, you know what's interesting is I'm looking at this. I just want to hear one guy with a giant following, a big microphone, say something that I've heard nobody else say. I want one guy to be a guy. I was like, man, nobody else took the initiative to say that. Taking over America's capital, federalizing it, and you're seeing a series. I got robbed in D.C. Okay?
Story time.
No, I told the story. Amber heard the story on the radio. And I got strong arm robbed in D.C., okay?
This man got robbed with no weapon.
I'll say for those who don't know what strong arm robbery
So I get
is.
robbed in D.C., and the police come, and the cops say, well, what kind of weapon did he have? And I was like, I didn't wait to see what kind of weapon he
Gave
had.
up my stuff.
Where I come from,
You don't wait to see.
you don't wait to see. If you bold enough to roll up on me, what I'm supposed to say? Show me your gun, buddy. Show it to me now. No. It's dark. He's giant. He looked like he ain't that a play.
Man, you know I had an uncle, my older uncle, who used to say, always keep some cash on you, because if you get robbed, you ain't got nothing on you.
Got $5 for the stick-up man.
If you ain't got nothing on you, when you get
gonna be
stuck up,
hot.
he gonna shoot you there.
Yes. The point is, I'm just saying these are conversations I want to hear come from pulpits. I want to hear people like this guy come out and say, what are we doing about the crime? My parishioners live in crime-ridden communities. What are we going to do to fix that problem? We should be asking those questions. What about the fact that you have a mega church and many of your schools are failing your students and the children of your parishioners? You look at the black community for sure. The reading and math scores are at the lowest in the history of education in the black community.
So you're not only one of the only people saying it. I'm gonna say it while I'm here on the show with you.
Yeah.
At this stage in the game, does anybody believe the Democratic spin? Or like at this point, you should be asking yourself. You know, they said the stock was gonna plummet, and the stock went up. Okay, so that's check one.
What stock?
No, just any like your market. When Trump got in office, we're gonna lose all our money in our stocks. The stock market was doing so good.
Right.
The Democrats said it's gonna plummet. It went up. he said we're gonna get all the immigrants. They're gonna stop them. We're gonna stop them from coming in. They said no, he's not. He can't stop that many people from coming in. Report is low. No people's coming in. At this stage in the game, whenever there's a Democrat talking, I don't know if I quite believe him. I'm just like, I'm taking the wait and see approach. One, I'm not a Democrat, so I don't care. But for those who are Democrats, can't you just start saying, let's take the wait and see approach? Because as of late, everything they've been saying has been wrong. Like,
the
big
hypocrisy
time.
is way too large right now, especially with everything that's coming out about Joe Biden and then the stuff with Kamala Harris. People do not trust the word from a Democrat anymore at this point.
How can you?
But again, I think the level of engagement, and many of these people are like this pastor guy. He is. I think he's an operative. He's an arm of the Democratic Party, and I know for sure that the way he is engaging, especially in this conversation about boycott and fasting for 40 days, and
We need to fast anyway because we got high cholesterol.
Let me just say, I am concerned that we are following the wrong people. And it is unfortunate that we have, in a sense, allowed people to tell us that by doing it the way they say do it, there's going to be a positive return or positive outcome. And it's not.
It hasn't been.
It's not going to be.
It hasn't been that way.
And
Proof is in the
people who
pudding.
work hard, okay, who are trying to build something, send their kids to school and educate the last thing we care about is you telling us where we can shop.
Well,
And
I mean, they tried to do
where to
that
spend your
stuff with
money.
the Black Lives Matter movement, and look at that how that ended up.
Well, Black Lives Matter,
Another spin session.
okay, it was Black Lives Marketing, okay?
Facts.
That was a scam. And again, we have to be careful. And I hope this man finds his way before his bell is rang and his number is called. Sometimes I'm ashamed when I see people follow people like this. There's no, you know, you go look at the history of the civil rights movement. There was always an end game. If we do this, this is the expectation. From A. Philip Randolph and the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters to Bayard Rustin in the March on Washington.
An end game.
To Martin, to Malcolm, okay?
Everything had an end
to
game.
Jesse Jackson. There was always an end game. And now we have these people who are just popping up with ridiculous notions, but they can't elaborate to us what's going to happen if we do this.
Right. Social media virality or viralness. This I bet you I know you've stated it here talking on the shows. Pastor Jamal Bryant is leading this boycott. I bet you half the people who ain't go to Target don't even know who Jamal Bryant is or knew he was the person that started it.
But yeah, and look, it's funny because the people that I know who've heard his name has always been in a negative connotation.
Facts.
Okay? And we're the only people who run up behind people who have a horrible history and attach ourselves to them. And again, somebody told me the other day, oh, well, you know, we all have had things like, no, I ain't never had that kind of nonsense that this dude had in his life, right? I'd have had some terrible things, you know.
We're a forgiving breed.
Again, I'm just confused that, okay, now the CEO of Target is gone. Target stocks plummeted. The investor groups are saying hold. You listen to the bulls and the bears in this conversation, and the people in the market strategists, and they're saying certain things. But guess what? The people who invest in this, especially if you got real numbers in Target, you're probably going to be all right at the end. We're not talking. They're worried about the consumer,
right,
as opposed to the investor.
Facts.
They're concerned about the investor, okay? And
the leads are concerned about the investor.
Huh?
Yeah, the leads and the conversation is for the investor.
The investors are saying, buy Target now.
Right.
Buy now.
It's low.
Right? And you got a pastor saying, who probably has stock in Target, let's be clear, who wants the number to drop as low as it can so he could get more stock.
Is that the angle?
Target's going to come back.
Is that the
concern is Target, a shout out to my good friend Charles Payne today, told me something I hadn't even thought about. Walmart is the largest grocer in the country. Target don't move food like that. Food is a huge part of your number. Food.
You just
right?
give them more reasons why it should have been Walmart instead of Target.
Okay? Right.
Or both.
Right. Okay? Again, food moves the number. Target don't sell food like that. And Target sells a lot of homes, products, people. That's one of the first things people hit the brakes on. Right?
Right.
And I'm just concerned that misdirection, miseducation is becoming overwhelming, and we are allowing people to point us in a direction that there won't be any positive outcome.
Yeah, because if you're concerned with the consumer, even the consumer, what do we get at the end of this? Nothing.
Right, right.
You don't get anything. We still don't have a place to shop at.
Right. But you still goes back to we're talking about a 5-year slide. This is a 5-year slide. Didn't happen yesterday. This company has had some real struggles for 5 years. And then on the backside of that 5 years, somebody says, let's boycott them. I wish I'd have came up with the idea. Okay, let's boycott them. Black people don't go. They're racist. They don't like you. But then, even in this conversation, this gentleman, Phil, you remember the show I did? Some of the information he was dropping was ridiculous. He said Target had 400,000 black employees.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude.
Wait, did he say black women employees? He
Yeah,
said something like
400,000. They were the second largest employer of black people next to the government. And we did the research, and we were like, dude, what are you talking about?
Here's another thing. I'm just thinking corporate-wise. DEI programs, in the media, they say Target removes their DEI programs. But a lot of the times, a lot of these corporate entities just renamed it. I know of a pretty large corporation, not mine, that had a DEI program, and they renamed it like it was something called a Sparkle program. So you can tell, or the Sunshine program, it still wasn't for us, but they just relabel them, and it doesn't seem like a diversity, equity, and inclusion program because it no longer has the DEI term, and that's just for the current administration because there are also federal dollars that still come in there. So if you don't have that DEI total, that DEI title anymore, you can still have those dollars come in for diversity related initiatives. They just won't be labeled diversity related initiatives.
Now watch this, guys. Because I'm kind of true to this and not new to this, right? The largest organization of black Christians in this country is a group called the National Baptist Convention. Phil, the National Baptist Convention just took $300,000 from Target Corporation. When was that? What month was that?
last month.
So the National Baptist Convention, the largest organization of black churches, took a donation from Target in the midst of this one guy and his conversation, took a $300,000 donation. The National Baptist Convention, Amber, tell me how many people are in that if you can. The National Baptist Convention is the largest organization of black people in church, and they're not listening to him.
Can you imagine that conversation sitting in the couch?
They're not even listening to him.
He said we couldn't spend money, but we can take some money.
Huh?
And that's probably the conversation sitting around the pastor's probably sitting there at the convention going, well, Jamal said don't spend no money there. He ain't say nothing about taking none.
But again,
we got to get this money.
But again, this is very important that we understand. This is why we have to understand who's speaking and from whence they come, right? The National Baptist Convention. Amber?
It says that they have approximately 7.5 million members in around 31,000 congregations as of 2019. They are the largest African-American organization in the United States.
And they just took a donation from Target.
7.5
in the
million.
midst of dude boycotting Target. You know why? Because they know.
You got to get this money.
No, Terrell. They know.
Oh, yeah.
They're not associated with him.
With Pastor
Or
Brian.
nor are they associated with his nonsense. The problem is the scary ass black Christians, as the scary ass white Christians, nobody wants to call anybody out anymore. And that's the problem. White people so scared to be called a racist, okay? They don't want to say nothing. And then black people, these black church people, man, I'm so ashamed of some of you Negroes. The black church organization, the largest in America, 7.5 million, met with Target in the midst of his boycott and are doing business with Target. They got 7.5 million people. And many of those people in those churches were told, don't listen to him. You follow me?
I do.
This is a problem that there's this divide in our community. 7.5 million members. Phil, you got that? You got that?
Did Brian call him a sellout?
No. Yeah, they're attacking the guy with the small following is attacking the big church.
Got it.
Again, this is a problem in our community. This is a lack of communications. Who's right? Who's wrong?
Right.
Who respects who? But I can tell you the National Baptist Convention is legitimately a very large organization.
And they're going to do something with that money.
Who is Jamal Bryant attached to? What national organization? No, he's a guy who is doing somebody's bidding. I'm totally convinced that he's doing somebody's bidding.
Who?
I don't know. Okay? But he's definitely driving the narrative. He's been on this LGBT angle for years. He just went and spoke at the Black Gay Church. He apologized to the Black Gay Church recently, and a church with two husbands that are pastoring the church. He went and apologized to them for the way black people and the black church member has treated him. He just told a football player his legs were pretty. What is this guy doing? And who are these men? Who are these men who think this is okay? Who are the men who follow a man who goes to a black gay church with two guys married that are pastoring a church and apologizes on behalf of the other churches? Phil, see if you can find that apology of him apologizing to the gay pastor that we treated gay black men wrong for so many years.
Yeah,
and he wants to apologize. I don't care. We run a little late. This is like, who's following this dude?
It's definitely not the people who drink Budweiser, because we see what happened to them.
Who's following this dude?
Put the Legitimataqua up to
people who do not have active parents in their life.
Right.
He just had two gay guys on his show the other day talking about ordaining gay men in the church. Like, who's he getting this money from?
Throw the whole church away.
Huh?
You say throw the whole church away.
No, it's just like, again, black people, black men. I'm going to leave women. Black women, I ain't going to do that with them right now. But who are the black men who show up to hear this guy every week when he beelined over to a gay church with two men, okay? God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, right? And he beelines over to the gay church and Negro, you ain't apologizing to me for me. For the way we treated them. Phil, have you found it?
I think so.
Let's see if we can. Yeah, there it is.
The black church owes this community an apology.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I don't know who that is, but
No. But he's apologizing at the gay church.
Yeah.
Why is he over there? Who gave him some? Again, this is a guy.
Who gave him the green light?
I don't care what he says. I'm not following him.
That's because he's probably aligned to that section of the community.
Again.
As I say, he gay.
Right, that's it.
Again.
He's aligned to that community.
There's nothing he can say that I want to hear. And
what if he told you had nice legs, though?
John would have cursed him clean the heck out.
I got a history of cussing pastors out. Y'all know that. I done cuss pastors out. It's just unfortunate, though, when I listen to people that I really think are intelligent and they jumped into this without even thinking maybe I should look at the data. And I know what the data says. The data says that this company was in trouble from
before then.
Way before then. And then I talk to experts who say, I told my people to hold or get out a while ago. And it's just unfortunate that we are so desperate to have a leader that we attach ourselves to anybody. Before it said, why is Jamal over there? He's coming out.
That's all.
I don't know.
So he's alive.
Lazy Pro Dude preaches from the book of blasphemous verse, 666. The first verse begins with heresy. I'm just confused. There was a time, right, when there was a standard in our community, when there was a standard, especially men.
That's all gone, man.
No, especially men, right? And
this generation killed that.
Yeah, in the world of being politically correct, that generation, this new generation, Gen Zers, they made all that go away. They got new names for everything.
So nobody cares who they follow anymore.
I think people care. I think people also care about being politically correct and not offending anyone. Sometimes people need to be offended for them to change.
Well, you know What's funny, though? I grew up in church, right? And I recall, and maybe I'm wrong, Phil, you're younger. Did you go to church, Phil, as a young person?
Did I go to church? I was forced to go to church.
Okay,
What you talking about?
Right?
Force feed.
Right? And that's when the Bible was offensive. The Bible went hard.
What you mean?
The Word of God, the Word of God took shots, right?
It still do. They just choose not to read it. You don't think so?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's like, when did this softening of this softening, this meek and mild and everything's okay come about? And again, we need a standard. And we could have these boycotts or these economic blackouts every day, but until we get back to a standard, I think we're going to just be songing and dancing.
Who are you talking about? Getting back to
our community.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
I think you're entirely right, because people are going way too high and they need to realize that they need to focus on the foundation. Look around you, look at your community, look at who is the mayor, who's, all the low people, and change that first.
Again, the average person can't tell you who their congressperson is. But again, you want to debate me on Target and how black people done shut Target down. Who's your congressperson? Who's your state rep? Who's your city council person? Who's your committeeman, right? It's like the things that are going to make a difference in your life, you have no interest in. But to let somebody who probably sends his housekeeper to Target so he don't go, you follow me? I assure you there are products in Target that this guy need, right?
And he don't have another place to go to because we don't do groceries and home goods and all that other stuff.
Absolutely, right? So I just think people need to just, look, books don't bite. We should seek education, man. Knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. And as long as we allow people to play this game with us, tell us who to vote for, we continue to let our enemy pick our enemy, that is not going to change the situation or change quite frankly, your standard of living. And I'm amazed when I see people who have done well and made a few dollars who continue to engage at that level, man. It's like, geez, man, what are you doing? Lazy Pro called it muscular Christianity must come back, right? That was a man. It was like, when men were men.
I'd have so many questions floating around my head every time you say that. Don't let your enemy pick your enemy. And in this case, for this conversation's purposes, Jamal Bryant picked Target as the enemy.
Right.
And historically, I'm not saying Target has been all peaches and cream, but just ask yourself the basic stuff. How many black products do I buy out of Target? How many black products are still in Target that I purchase out of Target?
Target had more black products by far than Walmart.
I keep saying Walmart was the true enemy. But
Walmart didn't have any.
Right.
Walmart had a history of putting small business out of business.
Out of business.
Right?
And Target tries to pull those people in and help them. Like, just in your own house, go look around your own house. Like, I got a bevel shaver. That's black owned, black operated, and Target gave them a shot. I'm sure it's multiple hair products.
What's a young black?
Well, let's be real. There's a lot of places that market to black people, but they are made by white people. Because I have to go to the I guess they call it the ethnic hair aisle, for my children, and half of them are made by white people. They're not made by actual black people, but
No,
they market
we
to
don't
black
do that
people.
either.
Because
we
they
just wear it.
They get to a certain level and they have to sell it, and that's the problem. But that's what you're speaking to. But I remember in the last 10 years when the Target Corporation invited a lot of minority businesses into the store. There's a black lady, I can't remember her name. If you're in the thread and you remember, she had a lot of products, and she had great stuff. And Walmart didn't do that.
Right. Can you imagine being the person who has a product that Target picked up? That day they picked up your product, you're excited and you're happy, and the community was excited for you and happy for you.
I can't remember her name.
And then in the same
Tabitha
Tabitha Brown, right.
Right. And on the same token,
And she
this
was
is who we
doing
wanna
well in
boycott.
Target, Phil.
Yes, she is.
Right. So
She
we
had a
celebrate
lot of
that
products.
win. So what we do? Celebrate that win, then boycott them?
So Tabitha Brown was doing extremely well in Target, and then this guy decides to tell black people don't go to Target.
Right.
I'm like, and then black people are like, okay, yeah, but this guy is.
DEI's gone. That's what they say. The DEI's gone. No, DEI name changed. They still got a lot of black employees there. Still got a lot of black products there.
It's shameful.
I don't know.
It's shameful. We need to do better.
People don't know the real definition of DEI. Look at Jasmine Crockett.
I keep trying to say, look, I actually do this part.
It's interesting.
The DEI game is such a funny game for me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a hiring manager.
Uh-huh.
I actually do this DEI game.
And it has nothing to do with
it.
black
Has
people.
absolutely
Nothing to do.
And let me tell you what DEI was good for. During that COVID period, when we had white guilt going on, and all the black people were getting promoted, and some people were getting positions in DEI, and they were having those positions. That's when DEI was for us. It wasn't hijacked. It was, white people, they hijack our words all the time. Remember when woke just used to mean you was a exceptionally astute black person? Now
you were woke.
Now if you're woke, that means you buy into this crazy ass narrative.
Right.
But yeah, everything gets hijacked. And
'Cause
right
I was
now,
woke
DEI,
for a minute.
DEI is not really. He was woke. He was a astute black person.
Then they stole woke.
And then they stole woke. The woke is having.
It used to mean that you were
gay books
slightly
in
more
your school.
educated than the average bear.
That's all it used to mean, and
Right,
now
well, yeah.
it means you support the Legitimate and you're okay with the books that are in the schools, and
Right.
the pride
third bathroom.
thing at Target was okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it means now.
Okay.
Stop hijacking our words and let's use our words for what we use them for.
Right.
Woke still means you're a highly astute black person and you understand what your community has went through. Let's bring back the true meaning of that wokeness. But again, why can't we just use common sense theories?
Because common sense ain't common.
It ain't common no more,
You know,
man.
and it's funny because
Make common sense common again.
Make it
it's
make
funny
sense.
because you're right. I remember when woke was cool. You know what I mean?
Like, oh, he woke. Right.
Yeah, what's up, man? You woke? Yeah,
I'm woke. I'm all the way woke, baby.
Man, and now you look at it and it's like, oh, what
These woke mobs. DeSantis said that all the time. The woke mob is on us, and they don't think we know what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. Look, can I have my word back, please, Mr. Ron?
Right. But again, it goes back to having a real dialogue about issues in the community and not being thrown off by people who don't care about your community, who has... Look, think about this, right? This is the same pastor that wanted to grow weed at the church.
He woke.
You remember that, Phil?
Yep.
And explained it in such, real quick before we get out of here, Phil,
want
see
that
if
money.
you can grab that. And he explained it as such that young black men are selling weed.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just grow it at the church?
Is our mark. He wanted to make it our market. That's what we do. We do weed.
It's that holy high.
But I can tell you this. A lot of pastors in our community don't want nothing to do with him.
Right. You know what you said a moment ago. You said.
Listen to this.
Oh, go ahead.
At his church.
He's pastor of New Birth Missionary Church. During a recent interview on the Cool Soror podcast, he said the purpose would be to attract new members with a focus on black men to help the church's membership. He also explained that another goal of starting the marijuana business would be to drive entrepreneurship in the black community. Pastor Bryant did not, however, give a time frame for the project.
No, he ain't get no time for the project.
This Negro right here. This y'all guy. This
He knows
the dude
exactly
right
how to
here.
get media attention.
This is the dude y'all following. Y'all better off growing some reefer with me, okay? Right? This is the guy you guys are following? Even though we know the attachment to such behavior has incarcerated certain people in record number, and now he says it's a good idea to attract black men because he probably ain't got no men in the church. Oh, I know how to get them here. Let's have weed Sundays.
And tell them they have nice legs.
Right.
That's so telling.
And the cocoa
That
butter
is
for
so
their
telling
legs.
how
Right.
he sees his community.
He's a fan.
Oh, man, dude. I thank you so much, everybody. Look, go subscribe and like. Tonight was a light conversation. I don't know what happened to YouTube. When we get off the air, it'll probably be up on YouTube, Phil,
Sure.
at some point.
Sure.
So we'll tell people to go check it out on YouTube.
Sure.
Again, subscribe and like. Follow TL at
This is TL.
This is TL. You can follow TL. You can follow Little White Lady. How they follow Little White Lady, Phil? Amber, how they follow you?
At AMCCCIA.
Yep, Amber Kusia, Little White Lady. You can follow her. You can follow Don Miller. Follow Podcast Doctor. And again, I thank you so much. Basic conversation tonight. We wanted to come in here and just have a real conversation. Next week, please remember, I want you to listen. Next week, my guest will be Jonathan Sebastian Blount.
Oh, my goodness.
He is the founder of Essence Magazine and a really, really astute guy. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great show. He's turning 80. There's a great documentary on his life right now. I'll put it up. We'll put it up where you can find it. Maybe on I know it's on one of the big networks. There's a great documentary on his life. He's the founder of Essence. I'm going to talk to him about what has happened to the Essence Music Festival, how it has gone away by the wayside. I'm going to talk to him about, there's a Dr. Martin Luther King statue that he is really upset about in Winter Park, Florida. That is all the buzz right now, Phil. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
It looks like he's an anaphylactic shock.
It looks like Marvin Luther King.
And look, Jonathan ain't got no filter.
It's going to be a great show. My
No
guest,
filter. Be
Jonathan
ready.
Sebastian Blount, the founder of Essence Magazine, will be in the studio. This is going to be a really good broadcast. I want to see that. You guys got to see this statue that's in Winter Park, Florida right now. It's a statue of Dr. King. Phil, can you find that before we go?
You tell
When
him
I saw
GTS.
this, I was like, man, that is not Martin Luther King. And I don't know who the black person was on this committee, but they should have vetoed this as soon as they saw the pictures from the lady, whoever made the statue. This is not okay. Again, this goes back to, we have to have people in every place. That is Marvin Luther King. That is not Martin Luther King. That is Marvin Luther King.
Do the first,
goodness.
yeah, top left.
Huh?
That's not even a black man stance.
Okay. They're talking about it. Well, play this. Is this a news clip? I think they're talking about it. Yeah, let's play this clip.
It's in honor of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and sits in MLK Park.
But as West Shoe's Gail Pascal Brown shows us, not everyone believes it looks like or represents Dr. King.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Because I've been to the mountaintop.
On July 14th, the
That's
Martin
an
Luther King
Indonesian.
statue was unveiled in Winter Park during the city's annual Heritage Unity Festival.
I was a little, I don't know, shocked. It didn't look quite
Even the white people don't think it's him.
or thought it should.
On the one side,
Like the reference.
I like it. On the other side, well, it doesn't look like him.
That's what Jonathan Blount, one of the co-founders of Essence Magazine, told
filter.
Winter Park commissioners.
It looks awkward. It just didn't look up to the standards that Winter Park is so well known for.
Blount, who is also a mentor for Cap Village, a content creation studio in Orlando, says the feedback from the community has also been disturbing.
His head was too big, his arm was too big, and it looked really, like a caricature of Dr. King, and didn't really look anything like him.
Okay.
Hey, so Martin Luther King. What are we doing?
If y'all want to boycott something, boycott that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go over there tomorrow.
They done tore statues down before.
Yeah, they tear statues down every week. We need to tear that one down.
Maybe we can get this one diplomatically.
Yeah, again, we're gonna talk to Jonathan about that next week. Myself and TL, we got to ride over there and see it for ourselves. It definitely don't look like Dr. King. And again, this is why you need to have people from all walks of life on these committees, because somebody should have said that don't look like him. Phil?
Hell no.
What'd you say?
That ain't
Like I said, the guy speaking in the beginning looks like the reference.
Like the white dude, like, oh no, that ain't
Run
the
it
one
back
I
if
learned
you need
about.
to.
I didn't learn about this one. That must be his brother.
Facts.
Again, thank you so much, everybody. Don Miller Show. Listen, laugh, and learn. Follow us on all platforms. Bye-bye, y'all.
Been real.
Check your feelings, he's turning wrongs to right.